Hi, welcome to the Market Alert for Friday, the 10th of May 2024. So gold, bonds, stocks rip after bad data on the quietest day of the year. And hedge funds and longs only were both sellers. That's interesting, which left buybacks by companies to save the world. That's a very interesting subhead there. Let's have a look at what else we've got. Surge in jobless claims boost stocks and bonds. So unemployment numbers increase, and that's good news for the stock market. US stocks gained after a rise in initial jobless claims triggered a dovish reaction. Exactly. So it takes the pressure off the Fed. They could be reducing rates. That's a good enough excuse to move the markets to the upside. And talking of interest rates, yesterday the UK held the rates unchanged. First, 6 months in a row now they've been held. But they did talk about potentially cutting, but we'll have to wait and see. And economic news, just yesterday, the numbers they talk about there, unemployment claims were forecast at 212, came out at 231, which was bullish for the market. Economic news for today, let's just have a quick look, see what we've got. 7 a.m. we've got GDP for the UK and prelim quarter on quarter. And then we've also got prelim UM consumer sentiment at 3 p.m. and inflation expectations. And then that's it as we head into the weekend. So let's kick off with the markets and have a look at the Dow. So in the Dow yesterday, you can see the market continued to move to the upside. I've redrawn the Fib retracements from this high down to the Israeli-Iraq low, as it's now known. And the market needs to close above 78, which is trading above at the moment, to head to 89 and then back to I think will be another all-time high. Yes, it is indeed another all-time high in the Dow. So that is quiet today, and we're going into the weekend. You never know, we could actually drive the markets higher into this new all-time high, which will be 40,000 really. When it gets to 40,000, it's going to be interesting to say the least. Yesterday you can see how much the market piled on there. Chart is vertical. Let's have a look from yesterday's low to the release of the news to the just after the close. There was just under 500 points there for yesterday. So a good move for the Dow. Let's have a look at the German DAX. German DAX back into all-time high territory as well. 1743, which is made on the overnight. We finished at 42 yesterday for the market, so we're up on the overnight, new all-time highs. You can see we drove through the yesterday's all-time high of 18,569, so piling on the profits yesterday, which you can see from the start in the morning and then all the way through with the UK interest rates remaining on hold. But as you'll see there, the volume coming in as the release of the claimless report there, the weekly one, which saw an increase. So yeah, DAX continuing to move higher. It's all-time highs all round at the moment. Let's have a look at the S&P 500. The S&P 500 continues to move higher, also heading towards 89, just through the 78, similar to what we're seeing in the Dow. And then we've got the all-time high there at 52.75. So once again, also moving to the all-time highs. It's insane with how the world is at the moment. But that's what you can do when you have algorithms running the markets. It never used to be like this when I think back to the early mid-90s and up to 98. But once the algorithms got programmed in, the whole thing is very easy to control and ignore all of the data and everything else that's going on. Incredible, really. Market up for the S&P yesterday, straight up as well. Overnight, the market's also having a look at yesterday's high, which it has done. And onto the FT100. Well, it's another day, another new all-time high that's been made overnight using the derivatives. Market continues to move higher. It's happy with the interest rates remaining unchanged there as well. Yesterday's reaction, you can see there. And then we just moved up with those US claimless numbers. So continuing to move to the upside once more. No end in sight yet for this FT100 as it continues to make new all-time highs. US dollar was down yesterday, up slightly overnight. So let's have a look at the impact of this on the metals, which were boosted yesterday again by the jobless claims and the dovish interpretation of these numbers. So here we go. Yesterday, silver being allowed to move to the upside. It's getting interesting now, actually. It doesn't look like we're going to get the bashing that we normally get when we have a situation where we hit $30. The market is being allowed to move up, and it's going to be interesting to see if we can actually get to $30. We've got to take the high out here, which is sitting currently at 29.78. So we're going to get to $30. If we get through 30, that will be a struggle. But if we can hold above 30 and it creates a base above 30 as support, then we can expect the market to sail all the way up to $50 an ounce. So don't hold your breath. But it's starting to look interesting, to say the least. But we've got to take out the 89% retracement and these two areas to the left as well, where selling came into the markets a couple of weeks ago. Which you'll see there. So what levels are we looking at there? $29. Yeah, that makes sense, as they want to try and keep the market below 30. But if we can break it, that would be great. So there's the reaction to the claimless numbers. The market continuing to move higher. We've actually breached yesterday's high on the overnight market and continue to move to the upside there as well. Same for gold. We've broken out of the sideways move that we've seen. You can just see there, just breaking out or just about to break out from that high to the left. There's the numbers there, and you'll also see that silver's moving faster than gold as well, which is also interesting. So there we were down yesterday, claimless numbers, and we've managed to stay above the high overnight as well, and currently at this level. So let's have a look at the gold silver ratio and see what is happening there. Well, as you would expect, if silver's moving ahead of the gold price, as far as the ratio is concerned, it's moving to the downside, which is really a surprise, more so than the fact that silver's been allowed to move up. So we see if we can break this level in this bar here. If we can just squeeze the chart up a bit so I can get to it, what we're looking at about 80, well 82, hasn't it? It's got to stay below 82. So again, let's keep an eye on this one over the next few days and see if that can be the case. Right, let's have a quick look at yesterday's trading session, which was pretty dour until after the claimless numbers came out. So yesterday morning the market was sideways in the pre-market session, and then we got into the opening salvo for the German Dax. Market up and trading up to the high. We had a potential sell signal which was just filled, unfortunately, but against the main trend, and obviously the market taking this one out for a loss. Then we struggled with the high for a while, as it can be seen there all the way through mid-morning, but till we got to the claimless numbers, then the market just never looked back from this point. As you can see, continued to move to the upside, heading up towards the R3. In the afternoon session, the market sideways once more, and then makes its way and hits the R3. And 99% of the time, if the market hits this level, it tends to see profit taking and the market resume to the downside and move back. But obviously in this case, it's supported by R3. It's a very good area of to take profits. You will get the times when it will drive through, as it looks like it's trying to do there on the electronic session. But again, see how resistance this level is. And then we managed to break through the level and continue higher with the Dow as it traded into the latter part of its evening session. A quick look at the overnight German DAX, and we've already traded up to the high which we've seen, and also recently, as I've been recording, the market's gone back to the high, but pulling back a bit there at the moment. It's just a matter of whether the market will want to drive into the weekend, moving prices to the upside, but the rhythms that are moving these markets, that's all it is. So the robots have taken over the markets. There we go. So that's what it's like for this morning. Like I said, we've got the GDP news, then the UN prelim at 3 p.m. Enough to move the markets to the upside. Watch out for the all-time high at 40,000 in the Dow if the market, you can use this. If not, it'll use the CPI numbers next week in order to do that. But otherwise, the FTSE, the DAX, all-time new highs once more. Okay, that's it for me. As ever, thanks for watching. See you in the